Welcome to my analysis of what could be Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's final parliamentary sitting before the next federal election. As the two-week session of Parliament wraps up, speculation is mounting that we have just witnessed the last question time under this government. While only the Prime Minister and his closest advisers know the exact election date, even they might not have made a final decision yet. One major factor that could influence the timing is the Reserve Bank's upcoming interest rate decision next Tuesday. If a rate cut is announced, it could shift the political landscape and impact the government's election strategy. But regardless of when the election is called, the atmosphere in Canberra suggests many politicians are preparing for a long break, perhaps until after Australians head to the polls. Several events this week hint that the election may be coming sooner rather than later. One of the most intriguing moments was a private gathering at the Lodge on Tuesday night. A select group of independent MPs and Teal members attended what appeared to be a casual cocktail party. New South Wales MP Di La, who received a last-minute invitation, described the evening as nothing more than drinks, finger food, and a history lesson about the Lodge. While some might dismiss this as a mere social event, the meeting had all the hallmarks of strategic diplomacy. The Prime Minister wouldn't have disclosed the election date to this group, but by hosting them in such a setting, he was undoubtedly fostering goodwill among potential post-election power brokers. If Labor fails to secure a majority, these independents and minor party MPs could play a crucial role in forming a government. Another major clue pointing to an early election was the Prime Minister's unexpected visit to a marginal electorate, where he made a significant aviation announcement. Standing in front of a regional airport, Albanese declared that if the struggling airline Rex, currently in receivership, fails to find a buyer, the federal government might step in to keep regional flights running. This proposal is a clear political play aimed at securing votes in rural and regional Australia. The Nationals and Liberals have traditionally dominated these electorates, but Labor is positioning itself as the champion of regional connectivity. While the government taking ownership of an airline is unlikely, the promise alone is a powerful election talking point. The third major indicator of an impending election came from Infrastructure Minister Catherine King, who announced that $2.2 billion would finally be allocated to Melbourne's controversial suburban rail loop. This 26-kilometre underground train project has been in limbo for years due to concerns about its business case, but suddenly, just as an election looms, the funding is being released. Federal Labor has long been under pressure to deliver on this promise, particularly in key Victorian electorates that could decide the election outcome. In a telling move, King also hinted at an additional $11.5 billion in funding, an eye-watering figure that will no doubt be a major talking point in the coming campaign. Interestingly, the Victorian government is framing the rail project as Australia's largest housing initiative, arguing that building train stations will encourage property development. Whether voters buy into that argument remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. This is a strategic investment designed to shore up Labor's support in a crucial state. Taken together, these three major announcements, diplomatic outreach to independents, a high-profile regional aviation promise, and billions in infrastructure spending, suggest that an election could be called sooner rather than later. The pieces are falling into place, and if the Albanese government senses a difficult campaign ahead, they may opt to go to the polls while they still have control of the narrative. Of course, nothing is confirmed yet. The Prime Minister and his team will be watching economic indicators, polling data, and political movements closely before making their final decision. But as Canberra winds down and MPs head home, there's a growing feeling that we're about to enter full campaign mode. So, will Anthony Albanese call an early election? And if so, can he secure a majority, or are we looking at a messy minority government deal? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: politics in Australia is about to get a whole lot more interesting. Stay tuned for more updates, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the latest political coverage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.